Hello and welcome back to the Man On podcast. I'm sorry for the 3 or 4 week break. We've been pretty busy with work and starting uni, that sort of thing. But we're back now. It's going to be a little bit of a different podcast today. We're just going to run through the table, have some talking points about all the teams, sort of like our first ever podcast, just a little bit more condensed. We're going to talk about some highlights, some lowlights, that sort of thing. You know the deal. Let's start with Man City. Very good.
Pretty much.
That's all you need to say.
Pretty much one of the best teams we've ever seen in the Premier League.
Unbeatable.
I mean, 21 wins in a row in all competitions. I think it's about 14 in the Premier League alone. A big game coming up in terms of the Manchester Derby. It's more a big game for the record of trying to, eclipse Ajax and Bayern Munich in terms of the wins in a row, because the league's pretty much wrapped up. And then obviously United are fighting for top 4, and there's obviously pride on the line for that one.
Well, it's gone from almost a guaranteed top 4 to they're now 4 points away from Chelsea overtaking them.
Anyone can. There's a few teams that can.
There's probably. If you're a neutral fan, you wanna chuck maybe Spurs and Arsenal in there. I don't think there's any chance. But if you're actually talking about teams that can reach it, you're probably talking that maybe top 8, maybe top 7 for 3 spots and.
Everton a shout, West Ham a shout, Leicester a shout, Chelsea's a shout, United a shout. So there's plenty of
Villa as well.
Liverpool's not a shout; they're trash. No, of course they're a shout.
Writing them off for your own parody.
Well, we'll get back to that anyway. But
look, it's just unbeatable. Too good.
And I mean, the bookies have you at $1.
0.01.
No, it's 0.005 now.
I saw when I was going to put a lot of money on it, 0.1.
Yeah, you might as well have, but
it's wrapped up.
Definitely.
Moving on to the other.
So it's actually quite fitting that they're playing this week. Manchester United, like we said, 4 points away from dropping out of that top 4.
This run of form was coming though, because how many points they picked up after trailing and going behind in games early, and then being able to at least salvage a draw and often a win. It's not sustainable, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer goes through these phases of where the individual brilliance can carry the side through periods of games, but then as soon as Bruno's a little bit off or Rashford gets a little selfish.
He hasn't even started Bruno in the last 2 games.
But yeah, you get what I mean. As soon as these top tier players who have had really good seasons aren't firing, all of a sudden this squad looks absolutely pathetic. They don't look like they've got goals. They have been defending relatively well, which is a bit of a surprise considering they employ Harry Maguire. But
Eric Bailly is a pretty good defender.
He's pretty good, but he's too injury prone.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka, bro.
He's not bad. He's pretty good, but he's not better than. There's 3 or 4 other English right backs that are better than him. So that tells me all I need to know. It's just exposing one Ole as a manager he's okay. He's relatively competent for the most part, but he's not a top tier manager. But yeah, look, they'll probably get top 4. They'll probably make a run in the Europa League, but. It's still a chance this can absolutely collapse from here. So there's a few big games coming up.
Yes, definitely. Leicester City also capitulating a little bit.
They should have
a little bit.
If you go up 1-0 against Arsenal, that should be a guaranteed win. Arsenal's not that good.
They actually didn't play fantastically in that game. They played better than they have been.
Yeah.
But it was like Leicester played brilliantly the first opening minutes. And did nothing. It reminded me sort of like when Chelsea played Arsenal in the FA Cup final. Great start, nothing else.
No one thinks Arsenal's a great side. No one thinks that Arsenal are a better side than Leicester.
Not even Robbie or DT.
They literally don't. So
maybe Ty.
The fact they lost 3-1 after going up at home, it's just not a good enough effort in my opinion.
They're looking shaky. They're looking flaky. And
I've said this for the longest time. Yeah. They are going to do exactly what they did last year. They'll hang on for almost the entire season to that top 4 spot, and then when it really counts,
lost it on the final day.
And then they're gonna drop it.
Well,
they're gonna drop the bag.
Yeah, well, they can't even blame a break.
Yeah.
Like last year.
Yeah, that's true.
That was valid. They lost their momentum, a bit like Sheffield United.
They have had injuries, but everyone has had injuries.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So no excuses.
I actually do agree. I think they probably will drop out. I think the top 3 will be Man City, Man U, Chelsea.
Yep, I think Chelsea will say.
I can be a bit hopeful in saying that. And
I've been backing Chelsea the entire season.
You have. I haven't, but I think that's just my pessimistic.
It's a good segue into Chelsea.
It is a very good segue. 10 games under Tuchel, no losses, 8 clean sheets, 7 wins. We're not scoring.
It's a great start for Tuchel.
We are not scoring. Yeah, you're right. We're not scoring as much, but we're making chances and. you're going to hate me. Timo Werner has looked very good in their last few weeks.
Yeah, well, I'll
very good.
But
He was dangerous against Liverpool.
He's still shocking.
No, he's not.
No.
He's not, Julian. And that fantasy of yours, that needs to go, I think.
All I'll say is the manner in which you guys are picking up points seems a bit vulnerable to me. If the defence starts to falter, although it has been doing excellently even without Thiago Silva,
yeah, which
if
is
it starts faltering, or if we're being honest, you guys have relied heavily on players like Mount, and although Werner has definitely come into a lot of form, and I've been high on him even throughout his bad patch, Havertz still hasn't hit as well, but
yeah, he's still.
I think this. Although it's going well, it can.
Oh, definitely, but that's very Chelsea-like. Have a good run and then you fall apart.
Like I said, I do think Chelsea will go second.
We still, you're still seeing Christian Pulisic, Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz, as you mentioned, pretty much all stuck to the bench.
Yeah.
I know Ziyech started against.
I think it'll be this season will be. Depending on how the second leg against Atletico goes.
Which Kai Havertz will start, obviously, because Mount is out with suspension, as is Jorginho.
And then also you've got the FA Cup, so you'll make a push in those, whichever one's looking more likely, which, more likely is going to be the FA Cup. But whatever one looks good to have a go at, you're going to go for a piece of silverware this year, which you've struggled with recently.
Well, I mean, I put
and then just try and secure top 4 in the Premier League. And in the end, that'll probably be... Considering how poorly Lampard started and you guys were looking midway through the season, it will probably end up looking like a really, really good season. And you guys can build towards maybe having a run at the league next year.
I mean, I put a cheeky bet on at $1 to $51 odds for Chelsea to win multiple trophies this season. The FA Cup and the Champions League. So that's going to come in. That's going to come in. That's just me taking a joke. But anyway,
if you guys win either one, I would give you the same odds just to win one trophy.
Yeah, probably.
Because you have to go through City in both competitions and Bayern and Anyway, moving on to a really surprise packet.
Our next opponents. So in my opinion, the big 6-pointer this week.
Massive.
Everton. I think they can get that 4th Champions League spot over Leicester.
Well, I agree, but the thing about Everton is they'll turn up against the good teams and then they're just absolutely shocking against the awful teams.
They lost to Newcastle.
They literally lost to Newcastle.
That alone, they don't deserve Champions League.
It sounds crazy, but I genuinely...
Losing to Fulham as well.
This is going to be probably the most blasphemous thing I've ever seen. Ever said, sorry. I haven't been impressed by Everton almost even once this season. They're so average, yet they somehow win so often against a good side. I don't understand. It's
a bit like Manchester United. You look at the team and you're not scared.
Yeah. And then they also put up absolute stinky performances on a consistent basis, and then somehow they're in 5th above Liverpool. Oh my days, man!
Yeah,
makes no sense.
Well, fair play to Everton.
Oh yeah, I mean,
they have a chance.
If they even get Europa, they'll be successful.
Well, I mean, if they don't get Europa, they'll be disappointed. But at the same time, it's not a disappointment of a season. It's just they put themselves in the position. They've let it slip.
But expectations change due to your situation. It's like Leicester missing top 4 last year was a huge disappointment.
Well, if they miss it this time, it's even worse. Yeah, it is significantly worse.
Anyway,
let's talk about another European candidate.
They're a real shot at top 4.
I hope they make it, and I hope this time when they get it, if they get it, they take advantage of it.
In this City 21 game win streak, they've been probably the most competitive and best side we've played, if I'm being completely honest. They could have won, or at least got a draw out of that game. They created chances, they defended well, they were really solid, their midfield's spectacular, the defence is really good, the attack just works really well. They're just meshing, the chemistry is so nice.
Yeah, David Moyes has got them firing. They're a good team.
Yeah. Much better than Everton, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I think it would be good for football if West Ham could get into that Champions League spot.
I agree.
There's so much time and it's so tight that I think they could even finish 11th.
Especially recently, they've been better than Leicester. So it wouldn't surprise me if they could nick that spot.
Anyway, I think my little slip of the tongue leads us in well. Yeah. Liverpool. Yes. Fuck me, what a joke.
This has been an awful disaster of a season.
I'm not gonna, first of all,
I love it.
First of all, I would like to have my condolences given out to both Alisson for the loss of his father and Jurgen Klopp for the loss of his mother. Jurgen especially, I've been hard on you in the past, I know you watch these videos pretty closely. And yes, a Bummer of the Week would be deserved over the last few weeks. And if we were doing it today, I would give it to you, but we're not, so I'm not going to.
Third time in a row.
5 losses in a row at home. They went, 68 games unbeaten, and they've lost 5 in a row afterwards. They are the first champions to lose 5 games in a row it currently still being champions at home. It's the first time in their history they've lost 5 times in a row at home. And you can't even say that it's not, you know, like Burnley and Brighton, shocking. They should never have done that. Man City, that's understandable.
Lose too good.
Who did they lose to next after
Leicester.
that? They lost, was it Leicester?
3-1.
Did they?
No, that's at home. That's Leicester's home game. Let me just real check.
Everton.
Everton.
Yeah,
oh,
that was funny.
That's horrible.
That was funny.
That's the game that they have to show up for.
Yeah.
They didn't. And Chelsea were by far the best team on that pitch, and they didn't show up. I don't know what's going wrong. And you can blame it on injuries all you want, but personally, I think Jurgen Klopp's almost making a mockery of it now. And he's just putting out random midfielders and stuff in centre backs.
Well, in terms of the league, it's a write-off for Liverpool.
It was a write-off years ago.
What?
It was a write-off.
Back to mid-table mediocrity.
Well, let's hope so.
Club.
Yeah.
I hate Liverpool. Sorry.
I thought you hated Tottenham. Oh no, you hate Tottenham.
That's Finn.
I hate Liverpool too, and I hate Man City, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I have an agenda.
We
have an agenda. Alright, win a Champions League, they're champions.
This season.
Anyway, moving on to
Trust
Spurs. They're a joking club.
Moving on, Aston Villa.
Yeah, good call. Very disappointing that they've dropped so far.
Don't they have a game or two in hand?
They do. They have 1 on Tottenham, but they're 2 on pretty much Liverpool. So I think one of them's against Everton, which is another 6-pointer almost.
If we're being realistic, Aston Villa getting top half is
It is. But at the same time, you know, there was the shout for Europe and
relative to time, it's disappointing.
They're not
getting Europe.
They are not the biggest disappointment of the second half of the season.
They're not disappointed. Like, if we're being honest, I was included in this. Anyone expecting them to even fight for Europe realistically was deluded, including myself. They're just not good enough.
So you wouldn't use the word disappointment for their second half of the season?
No. Them finishing top half is an almighty success, considering they shouldn't even be in the Premier League.
Yeah,
that goal line that happened last year, they literally should not be in the Premier League. So honestly, whatever they can, just them staying up is success, and then getting top half would be excellent. You know, holding on to Jack Grealish.
Would you say getting top half for Arsenal would be excellent, or is that a disappointment?
It's not excellent, but with the squad they currently have, it's probably a success to be completely. Arsenal,
a team with that little history, I think also, yeah, top half. Just being in the Premier League is a good thing.
To be completely honest, Arsenal just genuinely don't have a very good squad. Like, it's taken me a while to see the light, right? Lacazette, trash. The rest of the team
You can't say that.
is just mediocre. Have you not seen the meme?
Yeah, I don't know as a white man if you're allowed to say that.
It's politically incorrect.
Yeah, we're all about the political.
Just stop.
Moving
We'll keep beeping that.
No, you will not believe that. We'll just move on.
Without the
What next for Arsenal?
Burnley.
pray.
So what you're saying is a really tough trip away.
Yeah.
Pray that their
Turf Moor, I don't
entire
wanna go to Turf Moor.
squad suddenly turns into like.
Alright,
Oh,
so
no.
they need to get rid of everyone and
Pretty
replace them with.
Oh, Smith Rowe and Saka can stay.
I don't know why you hype Smith Rowe up so much.
He's good.
He's not that good.
not
Saka's
that
brilliant. Saka is great. He's better than
Smith Rowe's
Greenwood.
better than half your team.
Smith Rowe has played like 4 times.
Okay. I know you're all going to hate on this opinion that Pepe's been okay recently.
Maybe.
I know he was highly overrated. Like towards the start of the season, he was like shocking. Let's be honest.
He's
But
okay.
recently, he's come into a bit of form.
I don't know, man. Willian put up a good performance against Leicester. I'm not going to
they're still paying off Pepe's fee though.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
they will
the
be
grand
for a
scheme of things, not worth it. But I've seen flashes, yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that is not.
But it's like
know.
you've seen the best of Pepe and it's mediocre.
But at least it's
It
something.
screams 25 million at most. Almost.
Gee, if you got that for him now, I think that'd be a big success for Arsenal.
Well.
Oh no.
Invest in
Anyway, I think we should,
Okay,
I think we should move on.
Yeah.
Alright, into the bottom half. Leeds United, the fun team to watch, but you know, if you're a Leeds fan, it's not looking all great.
Just inconsistency.
Staying up
to
is
success. You know,
it's a very good.
They've had a pretty good season. They've definitely given their fans plenty of entertainment. They've given them a lot of wins.
They haven't been able to go and watch it.
Yeah,
live,
of course.
But
look, Bamford's been really exciting. Look, there's plenty to like in this side.
What I hope is that Bamford doesn't get snatched up by a bigger club, because he's. I don't know. Leeds might be his perfect level, you know. It might be.
It's actually a United thing to do. You know, snap Bamford up for 45 million, claim it's a steal, and then wonder why. And then when City go and sign Haaland, wonder why they're not on the same level. Like, there's levels to this. He's a very, very good player. Well, at least this season so far, but he has had issues in the Premier League in the past, and I don't know that he's going to continue this form, although I would expect him to, you know, at least remain a quality, good level Premier League striker. There's never any guarantees. So I think he'll stay at Leeds.
Yeah,
I don't think he's really like a top tier player.
Maybe if they get into a little bit of trouble next season, he leaves in January, goes to like Crystal Palace, or maybe that slight step up.
I don't know if Palace is a step up, man.
I reckon it is as a club.
I don't think
and I know that we haven't mentioned them in this video for the pure sense that they're lower, but I don't know.
Honestly, I think Leeds is a bit bigger club.
Well, no, it's definitely a bigger club, not
so then where's the
necessarily a
upgrade?
better one.
He's speaking facts.
Yeah.
No,
Where's the upgrade?
Leeds could go down. Crystal Palace.
If I'm a Premier League player, which I'm pretty close to being,
Oh,
I'm picking Leeds over Crystal
Yeah,
Palace.
I'd pick Leeds over Villa.
I'm out on a
Nah, that's bad. Actually,
Yeah.
to be fair, yeah, they're about.
I would love to blow bowls at the London Stadium, so I would not pick them over West Ham.
Yeah.
As I felt like you were about
Good
to say.
season from Leeds, fun season, entertaining season.
And let's move on to a shit season. Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Facts.
Joke.
No,
I mean, recently we've been in okay form.
Seventh.
That loss to City.
12th.
I think them losing.
And that draw with Newcastle was not good enough.
You've only won 9 times.
The
Yeah, but we're in some good form.
the turnaround from the fact they beat City twice last year to losing both games this year shows you where Wolves are and where City are. So
I don't know what happens.
Wolves went from this really, really dangerous side that could beat anyone on their day with Jimenez and Traore just playing like a beast, to now Jimenez is obviously injured, and
They are hopeful that he'll be playing back before the end of the season.
that's good news.
It is very good news. But
Hopefully Traore
Traore's
can wake up, you know?
Traore is built like a brick shithouse, as Tierney once said.
He technically scored against...
No, he didn't. That wasn't a goal. They didn't count.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know, but if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have scored. I think it was against Leeds, wasn't it?
But then it wasn't a technical goal. It was.
Oh, okay, you know what I meant. If it wasn't his actions...
You used the word technically.
Okay,
it wasn't.
I take that back. If it wasn't for his actions, we wouldn't have scored.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, anyway, moving on from a disappointing side to... The rest are probably going to be pretty disappointing.
I mean, I think we can brush over this.
We touched on Crystal Palace. They're 13th, they've won 9.
They should be better.
Sell Zaha and Eze, they're stuffed.
Nah, let's hit Eze, he's cool. I like him.
No, I'm saying, if they sell, they will be stuffed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. But no, do sell Zaha though. I feel like whatever price you can get for him, invest it back into younger players.
I'm pretty sure they declined a 70 mil offer from Everton, and they're going to look back at that and think, what the hell happened when they get 30 million?
I think some teams are looking at the market before COVID as it currently was, and they start overvaluing their players. And I think you're better off underselling your player 5 to 10 million, and actually getting that money than, waiting a couple of years trying to get the bigger price and then ending up with 20, 30 million under what you really wanted. Because
yes, you keep him for a couple seasons,
but you've lost out on this huge amount of money, especially for the Crystal Palace-esque clubs.
20 million extra is huge.
You're better off taking and it's not. Don't let the bigger clubs take advantage of you. Of course not. If they want the player, make them pay for the player. But if they're going to offer you 45 and you want 50, if they're not willing to negotiate, just take the 45, move on, reinvest that into the squad. And that's not to say that the big clubs should take all of the good players, because I've been actually happy to see Zaha stay at Palace for so long. But at a certain point, where his career is not progressing, where Palace can use that money to reinvest in the squad in other areas, I think there's been the good times come and gone to sell Zaha, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, moving on to another very disappointing side.
But also, it's quite fitting that we're talking about selling. This is a good selling club, Southampton.
Oh, yeah.
They get some good deals for their money.
Yep.
They usually get it right when they buy other players.
Yep.
And And you know, it looked like they were getting it right at the start of the season, and unfortunately now they're in 14th. And there is no way you can stand away from the fact that they are in a technical relegation battle. I don't think
this is absolutely
they're only 7 points off relegation.
This has gone from almost in the same vein as Villa to European hopefuls. You know, did anyone truly believe they were going to hit Europe? No. Did everyone think that they were an outside chance of it?
Yes.
And maybe, yeah.
I was hopeful.
It was worth having a discussion about. This has been a disaster.
1 point in their last 27 available.
Against.
And it was doesn't matter who they got it against. I don't remember who they got it against.
Oh, is that right?
But no, it's a joke. I like Hassan Özil. I would have taken him at Chelsea. He was very much in the running. But where's it gone wrong? Where's it gone wrong?
Just everywhere.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
It's crazy how good they were at the start.
Best.
Yeah. Like Vestergaard, all those Donnies, man. And now he was.
I haven't seen him. I know he's been injured.
He was in my team of the season so far. And
same. I think he's in all of us.
He will not be in my team of the season at the end of it.
Mate, man's gone missing.
Missachino. Okay.
That's now for Burnley.
Burnley. In my opinion, they play the most beautiful style of football in the Premier League.
Oh, it's football terrorism, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Burnley. They go Brighton.
No, we're talking about Burnley.
But they just stinky.
We love you, Burnley.
I hope they stay in the Premier League forever. I love the fact that they're there. They're such
just get them out.
They're such a shit house.
It's so funny pumping fire past them as a City fan.
Yeah, I don't understand how you unlock the key and everyone else
There's
struggles.
some reason we just pump fire past them for fun. I like having it. And then they cause issues for every other big side, so I love it.
Yeah. It's funny. But there's not much that we need to say. Obviously, these teams downwards, they're all pretty much in a relegation battle.
Yeah.
Brighton, you know,
it doesn't make sense.
They're top 4 in expected goals.
I know. If they had a striker, they would be having a season on par with Liverpool.
Or Aaron Connolly.
If they had prime Suarez, I think they could be challenging for the title, low-key.
Yeah.
Like they'd be second.
They don't actually concede that much.
Yeah, Trossard, McConnolly, and Mapai, they're all so wasteful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I watch a Brighton game and I see 5 clear chances that just go astray.
Yeah. They have also got wildly unlucky throughout the majority of the season in a lot of games, but at the same time, they're so wasteful.
And they have periods where they just switch off and teams understand that and they go straight away and counter-attack them, or they find that gap that there hasn't been in the entire game, you know?
Just like think, would Man U be better with Graham Potter than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Maybe.
I think they would be.
Yeah, I think, because they're trying to, incorporate youth and most of them are English, and I think having an English manager working with English players actually will work a lot better. And that's what they're trying to do at Man U for the most part. But they would play much nicer football. They would play, they have a game plan. I don't understand how, if you're a Manchester United fan, even though you're second right now, I wouldn't be too happy. Because, yes, you beat Southampton 9-0. Okay.
It's almost as if everyone's forgotten how badly they crashed out of the Champions League. That was pathetic.
Yeah.
It really was.
They were top after 3 games and then drop out, Yes, you're going to make a run at the Europa League, that's absolutely a given.
The Europa League is a second-tier competition. United with the size of that club should never be in the Europa League, let alone winning it, maybe if they win this year, 2 out of the last 4 or 5 years. You don't want that. It's just not good enough.
Personally, I would like to see Ollie stay.
Well, that says all you need to know.
Next season, we can take advantage of it.
Anyway, moving on to the team I think is going to get relegated.
I really hope not.
I think they are.
But Stephen Brucinho is going to manage.
Bruce.
How is my man not employed yet?
Steve Bruce is the worst manager in the history of the Premier League.
The history of it.
With the quality he has in that squad, how badly they've performed, he's the worst manager in the history of the Premier League.
I have one other suggestion.
Who? Pardew?
No, he's class.
Who was the manager of that Derby team?
Yeah, but they were so bad. That squad was so bad.
They started the season with about 15 players or 12 players or something. Anyway, I'm not going to mention who. I'm sure you can guess.
I can't.
No, it doesn't matter. No, because I'll get slandered.
Say it.
By who?
Jurgen Klopp.
The two.
Exactly. In all seriousness. Okay, hear me out, alright?
What do you say now?
Because I had this. No, it's very relevant. I had this conversation with my mother. Not that she knows anything about football. I said, if this Newcastle team goes down, I do not see them coming back up for a very long time.
What do you classify as a very long time?
5-10 years.
I agree, actually.
Yeah, true.
I think maybe
they are
close to
never
like 3 or
going
4,
to.
but...
If they go down now, they will not be sold, right? They will not have an influx of money because where's that going to come from? Old mate, what's the owner?
Mike Ashley.
That's him. He's not going to want to put money into a team that's failed on his own doing. They're not going to attract a good enough manager to come back and save them.
They're not going to have Benitez to save their
They
ass.
will get, like, I don't know, Chris Wilder or someone, and he's not actually that great. They're going to get some English Donny who doesn't really know much about football, and they're going to struggle for a bit, and they're going to go, you know, 7th in the championship, 8th, oh, next year maybe we'll go up. But they're going to lose all their core players, not that there are many, and they're never going to attract anyone special. And it'll be 5-10 years of the academy kids coming and playing before they can even make a move back up to the Premier League. Sunderland could be back in the Premier League before Newcastle if they go down now.
Yeah.
Alright.
I don't know about
That's a big call. I'm not...
I know we don't really talk about those lower teams, but Sunderland are really
I say
working...
Forest Green Rovers.
Yeah, of course you.
Right,
Sunderland are
before
really working on their youth players, and they're actually getting it right for the most part. So a team like Sunderland or maybe Portsmouth, who are actually really focusing on these core young players and trying to build something special, they have a better chance at going up than a Newcastle team that have aging players, no cohesion, and they're a mess.
Okay.
Let's move on.
The point is they're a huge threat going down, and you reckon Fulham, who is the next team we're going to talk about, they're going to stay up.
Yeah, I think so.
Elaborate.
Huge game, lost. Oh, Newcastle are bad, Fulham are okay.
Fulham are actually on their day a decent side.
Yeah, that's my point.
The games that I can remember is when we beat them 1-0, they probably deserved something out of the game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yesterday, in my opinion, I know that the rule is very clear. If the ball touches the hand in any lead up to a goal, I know that it's very clear, and technically on paper it's the right decision. His hand is literally on his thigh.
Yeah.
It's hit his thigh, and they've scored from it, and it's been disallowed. And in my opinion, it's wrong.
Yeah.
In the laws, it is right, so it is the right decision. But against Tottenham, and you're getting a draw, or you're robbed of a draw, they definitely can't stay up.
West Brom and Sheffield are going down. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Not much.
And we should move on to West Brom.
Well, there's not much we need to say. I thought Allardyce was going to do more. He hasn't, and that was probably naivety from me. I know when we last did one of these, that was 4 weeks ago or whatever, I said Sheffield United will stay up as my outrageous claim, and it was when they were...
It's been a little bit too outrageous.
Yeah, well, now it is.
They've done better than I expected.
They're 12 points adrift, but Newcastle have a game in hand, not that that means anything. 12-14 points adrift, I don't know what it is.
It makes the purchase of Ryan Brewster look really bad.
It's funny though.
Yeah.
It's funny though.
Liverpool, that's the one good thing Liverpool have done this year.
They got 35 million for him.
No, it's like 24.
I'm pretty sure it's 35.
No, it's 24.
It doesn't matter. It's
Okay.
waste
Who
money.
cares? It's
It's
Sheffield.
waste money. Anyway,
Henry.
but I reckon that wraps it up. That really does bring us to an end of this week's podcast. A little bit different. I actually quite liked it.
It was a good one.
It's nice vibe. Maybe every once in a
I
while.
do miss Boomer of the Week though.
Well, do you want to suggest a boomer of the week or of the weeks? Name one player. One player or manager or someone.
Adama Traore.
Why?
Shit. It's underperforming.
You can that most people.
He's just underperforming, isn't it? Consistently.
Yeah, but he's been underperforming the whole season. It's not like there's been a drastic
Well,
change.
I'm getting fed up as a
He's
Wolves
got
fan,
more
okay?
baby oil on him than ever before, but he's had no change since the start of the season.
Right, I think that.
Yeah,
You
well,
don't want to give a bumper of the weeks? 'Cause I'll give him
Chelsea fans were saying Mount's better than Foden. Disgraceful. I almost threw up because of when I saw that.
Okay.
Disgusting.
And then you're going to say Jurgen Klopp. Right, let's end the video, yeah?
Well, thank you for stopping by. We hope to make it a little bit more regular as time goes on. Obviously, we've had other commitments and we're really sorry about that. But for now, it's goodbye. Stay safe.